Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing this morning? I hope that your day is off to a wonderful, fantastic start. If it's your first time here, hello. My name is Carrington. Not your first time here. Hi, welcome back. How's the family? If you enjoy any and all things makeup related, throwing in some book stuff here and there, definitely go ahead, hit that subscribe button, click the little bell to be notified of all my future uploads. As well, if you want to go follow me on some other social media platforms, definitely go check me out on Instagram. Trying to post a lot more there. And let's go ahead and let's get into today's video, which is we are reviewing a couple of products from the Juvias Place Garden of Juvias. This is kind of like their little like pastel collection that they came out with. I also got one gloss. So I don't know if anybody else like even tried to get it on like launch day, but one, it wasn't listed anywhere. You literally had to type in garden in the search bar. I was able to get the palette. Then I was able to put this gloss in my cart. When I tried to put in the other two shades, literally it just kept adding this gloss. Like I would click it, you would see the purple gloss, you know, like that. I had clicked add to cart and literally they just kept adding this gloss. With the eyeliners, they kept doing the exact same thing. And the one that they would give me is a white one. And I don't want a white eyeliner. I'm just not a white eyeliner kind of person unless it's in the waterline. I really wanted like the lavender, I really wanted the pink, and I really wanted like the seafoam aqua green. But alas, they just kept like giving me multiples of the whites. And I was just like, what the hell is going on? So I was like, you know what? This is a really hyped up collection from Juvia's Place. So I'm just going to check out, get what I can get, and hopefully be able to come back and get more products. Unfortunately, I have not been able to do that quite yet. I instead placed a really large Sephora order and I placed some other little orders. So that's where we are with this. So we are going to test out the palette and the gloss. If you guys are excited to see what I think of this palette, what I think of the gloss, then definitely keep on watching. All right, so we're going to go ahead. We're going to start off with some swatches of the palette, and then we will also swatch the gloss. So first off right here, we have a Daffodil. We have Best Buds. We have Blossoms. And we have Lilac You. Moving on to the next row, we have Flower Petals, Money Trees, Peony, and Purple Orchid. Next up, we have Sunshine, Lucky Clover, Blossom, and Flower Child. And for the final row, we have Marigold, Oh Honey. This is like a very like your skin tone type color, Gardenia. And last one is Sweet Lilac. And then this right here is the lip gloss, and this is called Pink Bay. So here are all the swatches. So let's go ahead and let's just dive right into a look. So I think we're going to start off, I think I'm going to do like a pinky purpley type look. So I'm going to go into the shade right here called Gardenia and just kind of set that all over the eyelid. I did try to go in with a fairly light eye base so, you know, the colors can pop a little bit more, because this definitely is like a very just like pastel type palette, which does take like a lot of like blending, building up, things like that. So definitely want to make sure my base. Also, before any of you are like, Lizzie McGuire, you are an outfit repeater. I am an outfit repeater. First and foremost, I was doing like a testing new Sephora makeup. By the end of that, I was like, I'm not going to work like this. I am not going to work like this. Absolutely not. So I decided to go and take it off, and I'm going to film this. And I hope this comes out good enough that I can go to work in it. So let's go ahead. Let's start off with, let's see, which one's going to be darker? I don't know. Okay, so we're going to start off with Lilac You. This is a really nice lilac shade. Has a little bit of kick up. I wouldn't say it's atrocious, but also it's also pastel. So definitely going to take some time. Okay. I already know pastels take time. They take time and effort and money and energy to get built up. So that is one layer of the shade, which doesn't really do much. I'm just going to keep going in and packing it on. Just take the time that I need. Let me zoom you in as well. All right, so I have you zoomed in. As you can tell, we are starting to get a very light shade. And this will be my third time going in. I really do try to coat up the brush. I'm just gonna like stamp this in. Just take my time. All right, now we're going in with a fourth layer. Let's see what we get here. I'm just stamping it in. I feel like that's providing the most pigment, and I also feel like even though we're like stamping it in, that it doesn't really need to be like super built up. So I'm gonna go in with a fifth layer. I think after this I don't want to go in with any more, but I will say this does take some building up, and I would recommend stamping. But other than that, I think it's a really beautiful color. Like, I think that is so pretty. I'm gonna take this lilac that kind of like collected in the duct and clean that. Right. So then I want to move into the shade right here, Peony, and just start building it up just right here in the crease and slightly above. Not as far up though. Yeah. It's just gonna take some stamping. I'm just gonna start stamping and lightly just like dragging it, see if we can get maybe like slightly a little bit more pigment. I feel like that did help with some of the pigment. This is just, it's very light. So this will be my third time going in with Peony, and again, it's just very light, which is kind of what you're gonna expect with pastels. If you're somebody, you don't want to spend a lot of time having to like work with colors and you know, like really have to work on building and stamping and lightly blending and all of that, I don't think this is going to be the palette for you. This is definitely a palette where you're going to have a lot, and I mean a lot, of patience, which for me most of the time I don't have. So now we're going to go into this shade right here called Sweet Lilac. Yes, Sweet Lilac. And I'm going to place that on like the outer corner of the eye. I feel like this shade is not performing anywhere near as good as the first one. I feel like I'm packing it down and it's literally just kind of disappearing. I have to really work on this as well. Just slowly but surely. Do you guys have any plans for this weekend? Anything exciting? I'm literally just gonna work at my other job. My full-time job. I'm gonna work like 12 hours over the weekend. Not sure if I'm gonna do it all one day or split it up, but I just need to really work to get my numbers, which I'm really actually well on the way to doing that now. So I feel like this is definitely going to like help out quite a bit. Okay. I feel like it's sticking really good here, but I'm struggling with like up there. So I have glitter behind my eyelids. I want to try to see if maybe like a like greeny type shade might be best. So I'm going to go into this shade right here called Best Buds. I'm going to do that shade first. And I'm just going to start working this on like the middle to outer portion of my eyelids. Oh, that looks really pretty. Look at that. I think that looks pretty good. The shimmers are really decent, I will say that. Like they're definitely, you know, you could put it on once and be done if you don't want a lot of shimmer, but you could build it up if you really want more like intensity. So I will say so far, I'm really enjoying the shimmers. For the like inner type portion of the eye, I'm going to go into this right here. This is called Flower Petal. So it's like a very pretty, just kind of like a light green. And we'll go ahead and start on like the inner corner to the center Want to build it up just a little bit more. I really feel like stamping the shades and kind of swiping works the best for these shimmers. And this is just with like a dry finger. I think it does pretty good. Alright, so I'm back so we can go ahead and do the lower lash line. So far I'm loving just like how everything is just like, my skin looks so good. I am in love. So let's go ahead. We're going to take that shade called Lilac You, that really light purple, and we're just going to start stippling it into the lower lash line. Baby steps. Definitely took some stamping, but I feel like it looks a lot better than it does on like the top lid. So then I'm going to go into that peony, that pink shade, and we're just going to focus that like right here. Definitely need to work on building this up as well. And then very last for the matte is we're going to go into that Sweet Lilac, which is that really dark purple, and just focus it right here. Just have to work on really layering that up as well. The rest of my makeup is finished except for we're going to put on this gloss. Let me just first and foremost say this color right here, this is the Lunar Beauty Dreamsicle Liquid Lip. I'm not sure I'm comfortable in this. This is too much. I usually like darker, grungier type colors. So here this is in Pink Bay. Let's go ahead. Oh good, this might mute it out, so. I feel like that mutes it out a little bit, and I'm here for it. It's too much pink for me. So this is the completed and final look. What does everybody think? I personally am impressed with how it came out. I'm a little bit iffy on the lip. I think that might be like a little bit too colorful than what I really prefer. But let's go ahead and get into my final thoughts. So first things first, with this lip gloss, again, the formula is really nice, really comfortable. It's not super sticky. It's lightweight. I wouldn't say it's like so lightweight that you can't tell it's on your mouth. Like you can definitely like, yeah, I feel like I got a little bit of something on my mouth. I don't feel it's like overbearing, overpowering. It has a very like interesting like cupcake kind of a scent. And so I really do appreciate that. It's again, the color that is a little bit off for me. I'm just not a fan of those types of colors on my lips. All right, in terms of this palette, I love this palette. I think it is super, super cute. One thing to note and be mindful of with this palette is that it's definitely one, you have to layer, you have to build, you have to be mindful of how you're putting it on. You know what, that like you can't just start doing this. It's not gonna happen. You really do have to like pack it on. Once you have it that good, if it needs blended out, I really didn't find I needed a lot of them blended out at all. Then you could just like lightly do it. But for the most part, I was just able to stamp it on and it stayed fine. So I didn't really need to, you know, blend it out. I think the shimmers are really pretty. There's so many of these I want to play with, and I used two of the greens. So I used this and I used this, and I think it came out really beautifully on the lids. I think it has a really good intensity. Unlike the mattes, I really didn't have to build this up a lot. I thought like one, if you're not really into like super metallic shades, then this, you know, just going in once with your finger will be great. But you guys, I love like a really intense shimmer, so I did go in twice, and it works. And I really find that like pressing in and then just slowly like jerking the shadow, yep, that's what we're gonna say, jerking the shadow a little bit is the best way to apply it if you want a really good lay down. of the colors. I think this look came out really, really beautiful. I am so happy with this. This is like a really fun pastel palette. If you have been wanting pastel palettes, but a lot of them have been expensive, maybe they are out of your price range. There's like the Tasha Denona one. There is one from Nomad. There is one from Give Me Glow. And I know they're a little bit pricey. They're like $40 and above for those palettes. So then you're probably like, well, I don't really have like an option then. This right here was $25. You can use discount codes. I think Trend Mood has like a discount code. I don't know if other people do or not, but you can use that to save you even more money. You would save $2.50 off of the palette, which I know like isn't a ton, but that'll make it $23.50. So I feel like that's actually $22.50. So I feel like that's, this is a really, really good quality palette for the price point. You have a lot of options. So you have 16 shades in here. Like that's a lot. 16 shades for like $22. That's really good. So if you have been wanting a pastel palette, nervous about paying the price point, especially if you've never played around with any pastels, you probably don't want to spend a ton of money to figure out, is pastels, one, something that I think is going to look good on me, or two, is it going to be a formula I want to work with? Do I want to sit here and spend a long time layering to get the pigmentation that I want? I think having a really cheap palette like this that still has really good quality would be your best bet for finding out, is this good for me? Like, is this my best option? Definitely something that you would have to look into. So overall, I think this is a great palette. The glosses, I'm a little bit like iffy because there was like a lilac one as well. And I am just not a fan of like really bright colors on my lips. Like I'm already starting to get like, I think it's just too much. So for me, the glosses just aren't in my realm at all. And then the liners, I wasn't really able to get my hands on any of the ones that I liked. But I think the best thing from this collection is definitely that palette. So that is it for this video. I hope that you all enjoyed. If you did, definitely give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, click the little bell so you can be notified of all my future uploads. I have so much new makeup coming, so if you guys are like, more makeup, definitely make sure you guys are subscribed and have hit the button. Go follow me over on Instagram. Thanks for coming and hanging out with me, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.